It's never been harder to make it as a basketball player. Whether your goal is to earn a starting spot, make it to the next level, or any sort of accolades or awards, this is the most competitive era of basketball ever at every level. Not only is it this competitive because of the sheer number of talented players out there, but there's also never been more access to information, training, and guidance right at your fingertips at all times. But the problem with all of that access is that it can get really overwhelming at times. I hear from so many players who feel like they're being pulled in a million different directions. And so a big reason why a lot of basketball players struggle to get better and see results is because they're distracted and they don't know what they really should be doing. So today I decided that I wanted to simplify everything for you, and I'm going to give you the only 3 things that you need to focus on for the next 30 days. And this isn't going to be some sort of generic fluff advice or try this ball handling hack. Just 3 things that will absolutely transform your basketball ability and your results on the court if you focus on them for the next 30 days. Step number 1 is get stronger, but I want to be really specific about this. If you can't physically match up on the court, then you can't play. It's the reason why you see in college basketball these days, a lot of coaches don't recruit freshmen anymore because they would rather go to the transfer portal and get a player who's 20, 21, 23, maybe even 24 years old because they're more physically developed, they're stronger, they can match up physically. Now, you can't do anything about your height or your natural athleticism, but you certainly can get way stronger and way more athletic if you know what to do. Now, if you have access to a trainer or a strength coach, then go double down on that and really take it serious. But if you don't, I got you right now. The number 1 thing you need to do is focus on getting stronger when it comes to the compound lifts. So this is any exercise that's using multiple joints. So think about for upper body, stuff like bench press or pull-ups or rows or pull-ups. And then for your lower body, it would be things like squats or deadlifts or lunges. When you focus on getting really strong at the compound lifts, you get the absolute most bang for your buck when it comes to the work that you're putting in the weight room. And you can spend 30 minutes in your workouts just going through compound lifts and you're going to get way stronger and way more athletic. So my recommendation would be if you're lifting 3 to 4 days a week, maybe you do 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days. Maybe Monday and Thursday would be your upper body. Tuesday and Friday are going to be your lower body. And for each of those days, I would take 2 of those compound lifts. Let's say for Monday, you're going to do bench press or you're going to do pull-ups. Those are your 2 compound lifts for your upper body day. Then you want to pick like 2 or 3 isolation movements. This would be stuff that's only one joint. For example, upper body could be bicep curl, tricep push down, could be lateral raises. And so now that you have those 5 exercises, you're going to do those twice a week on those upper body days. Now, this next part is going to determine whether or not this actually helps you to get stronger and more athletic, or if you're just wasting your time and burning calories. Once you feel good about your form, you need to challenge yourself. Now, you challenge yourself by doing what's called progressive overload, which just means that you're challenging your muscles by either increasing the weight or increasing the amount of reps that you're doing. If you lift 100 pounds for 5 reps on your bench press, maybe at first that's challenging for you, but if you do that every single time for 6 months, by the 6th month, it's going to be easy and you're not going to get any stronger because you're not forcing your body to put on more muscle or put on more strength. So you want to constantly be looking to either add weight or increase the reps that you're doing. And then the other thing you're going to do 2 to 3 times a week is you're going to jump as high as you can and you're going to sprint as fast as you can. Now for jumping, this is going to be super simple. All you're going to do is run and jump and try and touch the rim or dunk a basketball or get as high up on the net as you can. And you'll do that for however many reps you choose. Jumping is a skill just like shooting or ball handling. So the more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it, the more athletic you're going to be in games. And then the second piece of it is just sprints. So all that you're going to do is you're going to go start at the baseline, you're going to sprint as fast as you can to half court, and then you're going to take your time walking back to the baseline. You're going to do that for maybe 3 sets of 5 reps. This is not about conditioning like you typically would do in like a basketball practice. This is about getting to your top speed, giving yourself time to recover, and then getting to your top speed again. So we're trying to increase our max output when it comes to our jumps and our sprints. Combine that with your improvements with your strength from all those weightlifting exercises, you're going to get way stronger and way more athletic over the next 30 days. Now, the second focus you need to have over the next 30 days is shooting, but I want this to be really specific too. For the vast majority of players, 80% of your on-court skills work should be focused on shooting. And it's simply because shot making is the most important skill to have in the game of basketball. You can lack a lot of things, but if you can make shots from the outside, you're going to be valuable, you're going to have a role, you're going to be able to impact games. Specifically, we want to spend a lot of time on catch and shoot threes. Now, I could end this right there, but I won't. I'm going to give you a plan to follow. The 3 categories of shots that you're going to spend your time working on are catch and shoot threes. That'll be the majority of them. and then 1 or 2 dribble pull-ups into the mid-range. That can be the second piece, and then transition shots either from mid-range or from 3. Now, here's a couple things to keep in mind when you're doing this. Number one, the biggest question that I get when it comes to shooting is, Coach, how many shots should I be shooting every day? Or how many shots should I have in my shooting workouts? And a lot of players will throw around, well, 500, or Kobe shot 1,000 every day, so that means I need to shoot 1,000 every day. For the most part, though, if you're going to go shoot 1,000 shots, the vast majority of players are wasting about 600 or 700 of those reps. Spending 2 or 3 hours in the gym shooting is overkill at best, and it's actually ruining your progress at worst. The best thing you can do to become a better in-game shooter is spend about 45 minutes to an hour when it comes to your shooting workouts. A great rule of thumb for the amount of shots you should shoot, 100 to 250 makes is a great shooting workout if those reps are game speed and purposeful. A player who does that is going to make way more progress than a player who's just arbitrarily chasing after 1,000 shots, thinking that that's going to translate into them making more game shots. Usually it doesn't. The second thing you need to do when it comes to becoming a better shooter, and this is the area that trips a lot of players up and it's why they don't get that much better, is that much like with lifting weights, you need to challenge yourself with your shooting. I literally want you to think of it the same way as weightlifting. If you're not failing at all, if you're going in and making 80% of your shots because they're easy, why would your brain spend any sort of energy on improving that skill? So the first thing you can do is give yourself challenging goals, like making a certain amount of shots in a row. If you typically just do 5 makes at a spot, and that's pretty easy, challenge yourself and maybe you have to make 3 in a row or 4 in a row at that spot instead. The other way to challenge yourself is by using something called constraints, and that's just a really fancy word for purposeful challenges. One example of a constraint is that maybe you work on shooting off of a bad pass. So you bounce the ball to yourself and you catch it like it's too high or too far to the side and shoot it instead, because that's going to make it more challenging to make it. And on top of that, it's actually going to simulate what a game shot would be way better because you're going to get bad passes in games. Another type of constraint you can use is bad feet. So you can just mix up your feet so that they're a little bit off. They're not quite perfect. And again, that's going to increase your ability or your capacity to make shots in games when things are imperfect. I also love doing things like shooting shots a little quicker than normal, like a closeout's coming to you or you have a limited amount of time to get the shot out of your hands. You can move back and shoot from further away where that's going to challenge you. I'll link a video above that goes through like a whole workout you can do when it comes to shooting, but the biggest things are make sure that you're getting up purposeful reps. You don't need to be in the gym for 2-3 hours doing this stuff because you're probably not going to be getting a lot out of it past about an hour. 45 minutes to an hour is great. 100 to 250 makes is the sweet spot. And then the second piece of it is making sure that you're challenging yourself as well. Force your shooting to improve, much like you have to force yourself to get stronger in the weight room. And if that's the majority of your on-court work, then you can spend that other 15 or 20% of the time doing your ball handling, doing your finishing, because like I said, nothing matters more than shot making. And the third thing you need to focus on over the next 30 days is getting stronger and mentally tougher. The number one thing that separates the players who make it from the players who don't is basketball IQ, decision-making, instincts, and mental toughness. And none of the things that we've talked about in this video so far matter if you don't have these things. Back to what I mentioned earlier about college coaches tending to recruit older players instead of younger. Another big reason why is because those older players have proven that they have the mental toughness and the basketball IQ to be successful at that level, to make it through practices and make it through games. And those are players that are going to be more successful and that you're going to trust more as a coach. And those coaches know that that matters way more than just their skills or their athleticism. Now, the great thing is this is the most important area and it's the area that you can improve the fastest and it's the simplest to do. Now, it all goes down to studying the game, but like I've been doing the whole time, let me go a little bit more in depth in that. Number one, you need to watch a ton of basketball. If you're a high school player or a college player, then you should watch a lot of college basketball because it's the most similar, but EuroLeague is also great to watch and the NBA or WNBA is great too. When you do that, you want to study and learn the actions and the concepts that the game is built on. If you understand these things, you understand the concepts of off-ball movement, off-ball screening, how to use ball screens and other actions, that you're going to be miles ahead of most players. And then the bonus piece of advice here is that if you also mentally rehearse yourself in those same situations that you watch, seeing it and making the right decision, it's going to translate even better when you actually step out on the court yourself. Now, even doing this for 10 or 15 minutes a day is going to separate you from the 99% of players out there who don't do this. This is the most controllable thing that you can do, and it's going to get you results the quickest. And no longer will you have to go into games hoping that you play well. You will because you understand basketball at a level higher than everybody else around you. This is going to help you to play with way more confidence and aggression. And not only are you going to create more plays for yourself, but you'll create more plays for your teammates as well, which makes you a player that your coach has to keep on the floor. And if you're trying to get to the next level, it's going to make you a player that coaches want to have. Like I said, there's nothing more important than developing your basketball IQ and mental toughness. And because of this, I created something that's going to help you do this way faster than anything else. I created Basketball IQ Academy as the only thing that you're going to need to completely transform who you are on the court and the way that you play. It'll not only teach you the details of the game so that you understand how it's played, the actions and concepts involved, but it'll help you to become an elite decision maker and a confident playmaker on both ends of the court. And on top of that, Basketball IQ Academy comes with a full confidence program that's going to help you become that confident playmaker that you've always wanted to be. And it comes with what we call Basketball EQ Academy, which gives you the emotional intelligence, the leadership skills, and the emotional control to be able to lead and dominate in any situation. On top of that, it comes with a full strength and athleticism program. So all the things that we talked about earlier are included inside of this in a step-by-step plan that you can follow. And you can get a full year-round skills training system as well, so that literally every single base that you need to become the player that you want to be is covered. That'll be the top link down below. Make sure you check it out if you're interested in transforming your game over the next 30 days. Like I said, the goal of today's video is to simplify everything for you. If you can cut out distractions and focus on the few things that really matter, you'll look back 30 days from now and not even recognize the player that you used to be. So like I mentioned, check out Basketball IQ Academy down below if you're interested. Drop a comment, let me know if you got anything from this. I appreciate you for watching. Talk soon. Peace.